Hello and welcome to the weather report. It's November 20th. I know we're doing it in the afternoon today, but with everything going on, couldn't do it last night, and I want to do this weather report now before the rain comes in. Obviously, this is what it looked like yesterday. We'll talk about yesterday's weather first because it was a beautiful day yesterday. Clear skies until the cirrus kind of came in. You can see it there. This is yesterday's satellite image, and we had the beautiful clear skies. I was in the Pine Barrens, and it was pretty nice. The lakes, though, drying up. Yeah, these lakes here in Brookhaven State Park drying up. Pretty concerning there. Are there these little lakes that there are? There's another one here, all dried up. Kettle. I've never seen this lake completely dry. So that's very disturbing. Um, and so we had the nice clear skies, and then the cirrus kind of rolled in around 1:30, 2 o'clock. You can see it there. But anyway, we have the cirrus pretty thick today. So if we look at the current satellite imagery, you'll see there thick cirrus rolling in, and look at that moisture ahead of this storm. That means heavy rain is coming. This storm has really got a very impressive signature to it. We look at the eastern U.S. They have an eastern U.S. one. They don't really have an eastern U.S. one. You can just look at the CONUS one, I guess. Just look at the CONUS one. Um, you'll see this impressive storm in the moisture feed coming all the way from the Gulf of Mexico. So that's why you have all that heavy rain that we're going to be getting into later, which we actually need because it's been very dry. Hardly had any rain this month. It's been a very, very dry November. Very unusual. But anyway, let's go over yesterday's statistics here for you. So let's get that on the screen. And you'll see here, this was the highs yesterday. Pretty chilly day, only in the mid-40s on Long Island. We got closer to 50 in New Jersey. And lows last night, this is last morning, 21 degrees at West Hampton. Not this morning. We'll get over that in a little bit. 21 at West Hampton and 30s. Pretty much a lot of areas got below freezing last night. Upper 20s in Jersey. The only areas that stayed above freezing are pretty much the more urbanized areas around New York City. So looking at our current conditions outside right now, let's go to the Weather Service first. We'll go over our climate statistics for yesterday as well. So ice slip. And you see ice slip yesterday at a high of no. I guess they haven't done today's yet. So this was yesterday. All right, so they haven't done today's yet. So this works out. High was only 44 yesterday, and the low was 34, and we're about 5 degrees below normal for the day. So yeah, pretty chilly day. So let's get to right now, and you can see the winds have picked up now. So we had the north winds. Now we'll take a look at ice slip and. It's 45 degrees. Winds have become east-southeast. And they're picking up as the storm gets closer here. And you'll see we're overcast pretty much today. Let's see, the morning. Yeah, we were pretty cold in the morning again. Drop below freezing again. I could see that. Though there was a breeze, so we might not have had radiational cooling. And as far as the 20th goes, you can see very chilly day. Very chilly, all in all. Very cold yesterday. Very cold, so yeah, it was quite chilly day. It definitely felt like late November for sure, but the sky was beautiful. So let's go look at our lows this morning. You can see the winds again have picked up. We have stronger winds, so any of that fall colors we saw yesterday, they'll be gone after this and the rain. So I'm glad at least I got to see some of it. The lows this morning, well, it was pretty chilly in West Hampton. It got down to 19 degrees in West Hampton, so teens in the Pine Barrens, everywhere else was pretty much below freezing, upper 20s. Looking at New Jersey there, not quite as cold there with upper 20s there as well. So West Hampton, again, being the cold spot at 19 for the lows. And as far as our temperatures go, they'll be rising throughout the day. So let's get to the radar here, and we're going to talk about, you can see that gale warning that's in effect for our offshore waters. We'll show you this radar first. So here's all that rain coming. So this is again with the low pressure system here. You can see all that rain coming, and it's going to start raining in Philadelphia soon. And I think by later tonight we're going to start seeing some rain after 7 o'clock moving to the area. And again, we need the rain. It's been very, very dry out there. I mean, I'm walking on the trails in the Pine Barrens. It is just so dusty. It's not good at all. It's very, very dry. So we are going to get some rain out of this. You can see there's our thing. Yes, and upstate there'll be some wintry weather, but just rain for us. There's your there's your pair of low pressure systems there and a slow moving cold front. That's going to bring it all into the area. So the Weather Service does have a briefing about this. So they say gale warning is in effect for the offshore waters for the storm because we're going to see the winds pick up a little bit. That's going to be in effect till 1 p.m. tomorrow. And then we're also going to have minor coastal flooding Wednesday morning as well possible with this storm. So let's look at the models next and talk about this storm here, and we will just show you here on the models what's going to happen. So high pressure moves away. We get this low pressure area that goes right over us overnight. The rain ends by later tomorrow morning, and then we're dry for your Thanksgiving. All right, I'm not going to go beyond that. We're mainly going to be talking about this storm that we're going to be dealing with right now. So let's go to the GFS here, and we're going to use the 700 to. We're going to use this to show you the deep moisture that's coming out of this storm. So actually, I should have kept it in the CONUS. Or I could do Eastern U.S. So you can see the deep moisture coming out. So we're going from that dry air. Dry air right now, that's going to probably protect us a little bit from the precipitation. But here comes the dark rain, and that's going to be moving over us as we get into this evening. And that's going to see that heavy rain move into the area. And there's a lot of dark rain there as well. So there's going to be some pretty heavy rain out of this, which we need. And then it dries out tomorrow and into Thursday for your Thanksgiving. So unless you're traveling in the morning tomorrow, I know tomorrow is a big travel day. I think the peak of the travel, which is going to be later in the morning, in the afternoon, you should be dry. The traffic, on the other hand, is probably going to be absolutely terrible. A lot of the highways and stuff. So if you're taking them, especially if you're going down, the expressway, Sunrise Highway, or going into New Jersey, it's going to be pretty bad. But anyway, so some pretty impressive moisture levels there. Now, we'll have to go to I think the 16Z should get us through the whole storm, I think. So this is the 16Z HRRR. So you see the light rain moving into our area, probably around a little after dinner time tonight. It'll mainly be on the light side. And the heavier, steadier rain starts more toward after 11 o'clock tonight. And there could be some heavy rain in there, too. Some downpours. Maybe you can't even rule out a thunder. Yeah, this isn't going to take us far enough out. I have to go to the 12Z. But you'll see here that, that's going to be some pretty heavy rain there. But the good news is it's done. By later in the morning, we're done with the rain. I'll have some clouds lingering around. But other than that, we're done with the rain, though it is showing a little area of instability showers that might pop up in the evening tomorrow. But I wouldn't count on that too badly. Let's look at the total accumulated. Now, we're looking at the HRRR now, so let's go to the total accumulated precip here on this. And you'll see a lot of us are going to get between 1 and 2 inches of rain. And remember, we've only gotten about, if we go to our climate statistics here and look at our climate statistics, again, if we look at islip, for instance, we've only gotten 0.15 inches of rain this month. So we've got a long way to go to get up to normal, but this will help us get closer to normal. So, see, we could get 1 to 2 inches of rain, which, again, we need. It's been very, very dry over here. Very, very dry. All right, so now let's go to the NAM. Go to the NAM. And here's the NAM, and the timing again on the rain. NAM's a little bit slower, but, again, I think it's generally going to be after that 7, 8 o'clock. We're going to see that rain start. First light, and it'll become moderate, and then heavier rain with some downpours. Looks like a line of moisture feed possibly coming through. It almost looks like a little bit of an LLJ coming through here of this heavy rain that's going to be affecting us overnight. And this is a really heavy line of rain right there, right in the wee hours of the morning. And then it ends by later in the day, and then we have improving conditions for later. Let's and that's the NAM. So let's go to the total accumulated precip on the NAM. And you see, again, agree with that 1 to 2 inch amount. I think that's generally what we're going to see as far as the rainfall goes. Let's go back to the HRRR, and we will go and look at our dew points and wind flow. So dew points, you can see the dew points will come up overnight tonight, and that's when we'll get into that more moist air there. You can see it right there. And that's where you're going to get into your little LLJ with a strong south wind. That's going to bring in the moisture. And then during the day tomorrow, the winds go to the west, and we still have moist air that is remaining in place. There'll be some moisture. There'll be a lot of low-level cloudiness. The drier air comes in on Thursday for your Thanksgiving. So don't expect too much sunshine tomorrow because of that. Though it should be dry for after the morning hours. So tomorrow will also be on the warm side. So upper 50s to around 60. It will still be warm. And again, the temperatures come up tonight. So you see, we start from the 40s, but they actually rise. And by the morning, we'll be in the 50s and near 60, and that's going to stay that way all day until the evening tomorrow night. And that's when the temperatures will start dropping back into the 40s again. So let's go to the. Do I even bother to look at the skies? I mean, do we really need to? I mean, but we will. Let's go to the RGM here. So you'll see tomorrow there'll be a lot of clouds around. There may be some breaks, especially toward the afternoon, perhaps. But I think it's going to mainly be fairly cloudy tomorrow. I don't think we're going to see too much sun because of that. Again, we got plenty of rain coming. Again, some of that's going to be heavy. We can go to the Ventus sky, and the other issue, of course, is some of the strong southerly winds. So we'll look at that on Ventus sky, kind of visualize this a little more for you, and you can see the winds streaking by here. Very strong southeast winds. Wind gusts could be. As we get later tonight, up to 45 miles an hour, especially on the Jersey Shore. And again, this is it's already breezy out there, but it's going to get even more breezy. So the rain's going to be wind-driven. It's not going to be fun to be out in. Definitely, we're going to see the remainder of the leaves fall off the trees, I think, after this. Hopefully you got to see those fall colors, because after this, that's it. They're not going to be around anymore. So going later, you can see that southeast wind, and that's the concern. Here we are now, 11 o'clock. You can see pretty strong southeasterly winds. And then as we go into Wednesday, look at this. As we go into the overnight, it gets even really bad. So this is why they have 45. There may be some isolated power outages, 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts, perhaps. A lot of beach, there could be more beach erosion, flooding, and then that line comes through. And that's where we could have some really strong winds when that line comes through. Bring some of these winds down to the surface. You can see 60 miles an hour. And then it cuts off by 8, 9 o'clock, that LLJ. But this is going to be a pretty intense LLJ. LLJ means low-level jet event. Why do we call it low-level jet? Well, if we go to wind speed here and we take a look at the wind speed above the ground and go to, let's go to 1,000 meters here. This is not that high up. This is what I mean by strong winds. Look at how strong these winds are just above the surface. So that's what you call an LLJ. It's a low-level jet. This is what you have, that 70 mile an hour winds up aloft. This is pretty bad. All right, this is what it is right now. All right. So right now we're not dealing with too much, but the LLJ starts moving in around 10 o'clock tonight. You can see it off to the west, and you can see these strong winds aloft here. These are some pretty strong winds aloft. They got up to 850 too as well. You can see them as well, but it's mainly that 9. We'll use 850 in this, but you'll see here some pretty strong winds. So this is the issue. You have a shower or maybe even a thunderstorm, brings those winds down to the surface, and that's where we could have, again, some really violent winds at this particular time here. 66. This is just above the surface, but you got to remember, a shower or thunderstorm could do that. So let's look at thunderstorms here, and I don't think there's any cape as far as any of these thunderstorms being severe. We can look at lifted index, and there is a decent amount of lifted index. So that's why I cannot rule out there could actually be a thunderstorm involved here with this in the morning. That's a pretty decent lifted index, and any thunderstorm could have the potential to bring down some stronger winds from aloft, just aloft, because 1,000 meters up is not that high. So those winds are racing right above our heads tomorrow. Early tomorrow morning and later tonight. So let's go more onto the waves, because the next thing that we're gonna have to worry about. Yeah, that's right, the surf. And this is the air. This is where I have to worry about. So we're gonna have some strong. The winds are gonna whip up some pretty strong waves. See 10 to 12 feet. That's why there's gonna be some minor coastal flooding and beach erosion as well. This is why we have the gale warning in effect for tomorrow. You can see the waves are still high, and even in the afternoon, they're still. Let's see, as we go to the afternoon, they should start backing off a little bit, but it's going to be a violent, violent storm overnight for sure, with a lot of rain. And so let's now go to. Let's just go back to the Weather Service. I just want to see what their forecast is before I wrap this whole thing up here, because this is, again, a big concern here. This is going to be a big storm, Even the News 12 was talking about it. Actually, it says right here on their Facebook, low pressure will bring gusty winds, periods of heavy rain, coastal flooding to the area through early Wednesday. A steady rain develops this afternoon, continuing to early, but it's probably going to be more toward the evening. But and then we're going to have that winds. Winds increase this evening with gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour near the coast. This could lead to a few downed trees or power lines. All right, and there's their rainfall forecast again. That 1 to 2 inch amount. I'm only more closer to 2 as far as that rainfall forecast goes. Now I'm just kind of curious if they actually have chance of thunderstorm in the forecast. Rain, it doesn't say chance of thunderstorm. I don't know. There could be a thunderstorm in there. Don't be surprised if there is. So that's going to wrap up this weather alert, weather report, weather alert. We got this big storm coming tonight with a lot of heavy rain. So you definitely want to be in. And let's hope there aren't too many power outages. But again, if you like seeing those fall colors like this, well, I'm sorry. They're going to be gone after tomorrow. These leaves are going to be blown off. And it's going to all be about the pines like it always is. So anyway, thank you for watching. And that's it.